guy's bravery won him second place in my grand tournament. Interesting you start autoing. Yeah, this is one thing that I've learned, which is just because people are like, so the perspective that I gained on this was when I was playing it as a count. Because I said, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to do this plot because I want to become, more powerful or something like that. Now, if somebody who I don't like is about to have something bad happen to them, why would I stop the plot? On the other hand, if it's somebody who has, like, let's say a lot of levies that I'm going to need to, draw from when a conflict comes up, I'm probably going to want to end the plot. Because I don't want those resources to be wasted with my vassals fighting between each other. But I finally learned after a couple of bits of trial and error that not all plots are necessarily bad. Although it does make you a bit of a bastard for letting people die needlessly in your kingdom. But only for those one or two count. Yeah. Well, again, it's a case-by-case situation for sure. Let's speed things up a little bit. Oop, truces are expiring with... I'm just going to call him King Gandalf. Not too worried about him, though, because I don't think he holds any territory in here. My vassals are still mad about having the levies raised so long. So let's do a feast. How does this guy feel about me? I really don't want to release people who don't like me that much. We'll at least release her. Whatever. We'll release both of them. It's feast time. Might be the right time for a few years of consolidation and shoring up. Yep, absolutely. It's basically a time to make some money and build up the castles I hold. I also think I'm going to need to maybe have a little bit of a bigger war chest just because I've got a neighbor with such a large army. My wife, Queen Zote, has asked... Yeah, good luck saying yes to anything from hers. Asked me to get rid of one of my courtiers who she finds annoying. On one hand, she may not be happy if I refuse her request, but if I fire that annoying man, many people will feel my wife has too much influence on my actions. She should stay out of this, and she hates me still. If you took England, would you stay blue or turn red? I believe... That's a good question, actually. I think it would stay blue because that's my primary title, but let's find out. I actually think if I were to found the Empire of Britannia, I might turn red. But we will find out together on this stream, because I am going to stream every minute of this playthrough until it ends. It's actually one of the reasons why I sometimes stream at on days which I haven't committed to, just because I really enjoy playing this game and I want to see how the story goes. No, we must lose Scotland first, just in case. The conjurer produced a rabbit from the hat, then made the handkerchief change color from brown to red, and then he simply vanished from the room, only to knock on the door and open it a few seconds later. You must perform at my feast. Everybody was talking about the musicians, and I finally had some time off from the preparations for my feast, so I could see with my own eyes and hear with my own ears what the people were talking about. The musicians were good, and they were looking for a patron. I will offer them my patronage. The best part about preparing a feast is deciding on what foodstuffs to serve. I must purchase venison, boar, duck, spices, wine, and ale, honey for desserts, cheeses, and perhaps even a swan or a peacock. Now notice we do not have the option of not spending that much on food. It's because this guy's a glutton, and we always want prestige, so 20 gold. Let's see who doesn't want to come. Dear King Eadbald, thank you for your invitation, but I will not be able to attend your feast. In fact, I refuse to set foot in the same castle as you. Respectfully, Duke Fergus III. I don't like you either. Duke Findlay. Okay, so only two of my vassals refused to attend the feast. The guests have finally arrived. All is ready. The cooks have worked day and night preparing the food, and the castle has never looked lovelier. Welcome to my feast. Everyone drank and were happy, except Mayor Belthier, who refused more wine. This insulting gesture means he does not appreciate my hospitality. Bishop Wolfgeet spoke up and told everyone how great the food at my feast was. I was really glad someone was kind enough to say something nice about the food, given how hard I had worked to ensure the food was the best part of the feast. That was well spoken, thank you. You know, Enders, it's funny you mention, because there is actually an option to arrest people at your feast to seize their titles. And that is the story of Eadbald the Lecherous. You have a new... Oh my god, you have a new heir. If your character dies, you will now play as King Thorad the Wise. So, like... Oh, this is probably because... This is probably my son. Oh no, it's not my son because of the seniority. King Eadbald died in Christ at age 68. He died a natural death. Long live King Eastmond. So be it. And the final moments of King Eadbald. As I draw my last breath, I remember the tournament. Alas, my death will set a stop for the festivities, and I grieve for myself to think I will never be allowed to see the brave knights fight for glory. I hope my subjects will remember me as a benevolent ruler. So that is it for me tonight. I'm going to save my ambition until we start through the playthrough, but as we always do, and especially because... we had an earlier start today, and we've had some people coming in and out. Let's do a recap. First of all, let's see the House of Rose at the end of King Eadbald the Lecherous. Let's see where we finished. 198 prestige. I think, what was it, 37 that we started with this? Yeah, so the House of Rose just exploded in prestige due to this one guy. He inherited a kingdom which I believe just had, I think at 2 originally. He was given the county of Chester from the King of England. I believe he seized the county of Derby. He unsuccessfully fought for Hereford, and the dastardly Northumbrians took Lancaster, but not to be outdone. He sent an army and reclaimed Lancaster for the glory of the House of Rose, and then formulated a plot which he needed to fight for to take. He also claimed whatever the hell that place is called, which unfortunately is now part of the Kingdom of Asturias, so we'll leave that aside. He fought angry peasants in the street single-handedly and improved his martial ability. He had like a 30-year-old mistress at age 60, and his wife routinely tried to kill him, and the only thing that could finally take him down was the course of nature at age 68. The man had a mustache, he was holier than the Pope, and he was lustful and zealous at the same time. What a true Scotsman! You're going to have to be careful on taking over with this guy because Scotland is going to try and run away. Yeah. Yeah, the biggest problem that I have right now is my personal holdings are not actually that big. And I have a lot of vassals who don't care that much for me, actually. That's a hell of a eulogy. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, man, that was a really fun playthrough. It looks like people are filing out already. I am definitely done for tonight. Oh, actually, you know what? We'll at least do my first act. Okay, I can't do my first act to seize the title, so we'll call it for this. Thank you, everybody who stopped by. This is a lot of fun to do. It definitely took me a lot longer than I was planning, but that was definitely a hell of a playthrough. The guy lasted longer, and he accomplished so much. I mean, I didn't think we were going to become king this time around, so... You know, we went from Duke to King in a shorter period of time than we went from Count to Duke. So the House of Rose is a pretty interesting story to play, to say the least. We're sitting on a pretty good gold hoard. There's a few improvements I can do to my personal holdings, but I think the biggest things that I'm going to need to deal with is sort of dealing with this division that we have in the middle of England. I need to make sure I retain Scotland. I can definitely expand my holdings. We've got some heathens to the north, which I can declare holy war on. Might even set my sights on Ireland, which seems to be pretty fragmented, and so would probably provide some good opportunities for taking things over. And of course, Wales is still an option. It looks like it's not England isn't actually taking over Wales. It's somewhere down south, which means that I can just simply retake these lands. And I don't really need to worry about tangling with a strong neighbor to the east, southeast. So we've got a lot of options ahead of us. This is going to be a really interesting playthrough next time we do it. All right, let's see. When can I get the channel advertisements? When can I get on the channel advertisements? Always play. You're seeing profits from this yet? No, I do not see profits from this because I'm not a Twitch partner. Thank you, so I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention to it. In terms of the next stream, I'm still working on a schedule. If you guys have some times that you would like to see, feel free to send me a message through Twitch. I will try to have a regular schedule established by this week, but I don't want to rush that simply because if I make a promise to you and I don't fulfill it, that would be worse than me not having a schedule on its own. If you like what you've seen and you want to at least get some kind of notification that I'm streaming, feel free to hit the follow button. I always appreciate that. And finally, thank you very much to everybody for coming in and make this such a wonderful chat. I've really enjoyed streaming a lot more for having the interaction with you. You guys definitely make the stream better for giving me something to talk about. And we're really looking forward to continuing the story of the House of Rose, as well as doing some other occasional things. So I'm out for now. I will try to do a stream Tuesday if I can, and I will at least guarantee you guys a Friday or Saturday stream for sure, but let's try and do something earlier in the week as well. I'm out for tonight. I hope you guys have a good evening. I am going to shut down the stream now, and then I'm going to see if there's somebody to host. So if you can hang out for just a couple of minutes, if there's somebody that I can host, we can send you guys to them, and hopefully you guys have as much fun there. Took too long on my outro. Have a good night, everybody.